We continue on today with our look at the core class Legacy Dinobots. This will be the second in this series. We previously looked at Grimlock, and today we're going to look at Snarl. Grimlock had some real issues. In fact, I would say a couple of them were kind of fatal issues for making him be an excellent core class offering. But as we move on to Snarl, who is the other leg of Volcanicus, I gotta say, man oh man, what a bang up version of Snarl. We're going to dive into everything to do with this guy in the latest GotBot True review. Hey one, hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble of hosts, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course subscribe, and while you are at it, light them up, baby. Hit that notification bell, please. Helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, all the groups that I'm either a mod or an admin for, as well as all of my social media links. All of that's in the description down below. Also in the description, and if you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link, check us out on Patreon, see what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. I love this guy. I think this is a tremendous version of Snarl for such a little offering, especially following on from my feelings about Grimlock. Without any further ado, let's head over to the table and take a closer look at this guy. And indeed, we move along, we chug right along with the second of our core class Legacy Evolution Dinobots. And again, I can't thank Maximal 10 enough for letting me take a look at these guys. We start off with one of the legs, Grimlock. It only seemed fitting that the second one we do be the other leg, and that being Snarl, who I had high hopes for, if I'm being perfectly honest. I really was impressed when I saw this guy, like initially revealed. We have box art here with him in his Steggy mode. Down on the side, robot mode over here. On the other side, your typical fanfare of Legacy Evolution. And on the back, we have both the robot and the dino mode. No leg mode shown, but don't worry, we're going to get to it because we're doing the transformations from the way he comes in package, robot to dino, and then dino, I presume, to leg mode. It's probably the best way to go. Now, Snarl here is a little more interesting. His transformation is slightly more involved. As you can see, the instructions here are more detailed than they were for Grimlock. I'm going to say it now. I think that the quality and the standard that Snarl is should have been the standard for the entirety of the group. And yes, here we have Snarl. Again, he would have been, I guess, remolded. Slightly remolded as part of the Dinoking combiner set. We already know that Grimlock was like an analog, so to speak, for Doryu. In terms of the right leg being a Stegosaurus, this guy would be, again, sort of an analog for Doryu, who had a pretender shell that was a Stegosaurus, and he became the right leg, as I think this guy is. I'm pretty sure he's also the right leg. Let's do the look of the guy. I mean, I'm going to say 10. I look at this and I'm like, this is Snarl. The color layout, the palette is exactly as it should be. It very much looks like Snarl to me, right from the tip of his head and his gold, I guess, spikes on his shoulders, right down to I guess plates on his legs and his toes. I mean, everything in between. He also has a plate back here, and you'll notice that we have a sword on it. The sword, his sword, can certainly go in his hand. I wish all of them had come with proper accessories like this. I mean, Grimlock has, for example, the double-barrel blaster that becomes his tail, but like, it's a bit of a stretch to call that Grimlock's double-barrel blaster. I know that this guy has a little bit of parts forming, but it doesn't even make me angry because of how clean this is on his back. So I'm going to take the sword off. I'm even going to take the back plate off for now. Okay, let's do the articulation for the guy. We have a head that goes left and right. Again, no up and down, so I assume it's on a mushroom peg, I would guess. The arms can T-pose like all the way out. We have an elbow that's super deep. We have, because of the elbow, do we have a swivel? We don't have a bicep swivel. Huh, look at that. But I didn't even notice till right now that we don't have a bicep swivel because everything else about this guy's so good. We do have a waist. I mean, I think I can live without the bicep if we got a waist. Legs all the way forward. Legs all the way back. Pretty much full splits. Not quite, but certainly close enough. No thigh swivel, a little bit of a wiggle, but I don't think I can really give it to him. It's no better than Grimlock's was. And a knee to well over 90 degrees. Having elbows makes all the difference. Yeah, I get it. No ankle. I get it. No bicep swivel or thigh swivel. And that's a bummer, but on core class, I mean, King, what do you expect? I do, however, expect knees and elbows. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Grimlock didn't have it. This guy does. Think it's fantastic. I'm going to say that the articulation, let's see, the look of the guy was a 10. The articulation, I'm going to say is an 8 because it would be nice to have a couple of other, you know, a couple of other points of articulation. The range is great though. So an 8 and a 10. So far the guy is getting like a 9. Let's do the transformation. And we'll go to Dino, then we'll go to leg mode. So we're going to begin by apparently turning the head around. I don't know if it really makes a difference, honestly. And we should then be able to swing the tail pieces down. They're on mushroom pegs. I love how the tail pieces swing together like that. I think that's so cool. Then we should be able to bring our arms up. If I'm not mistaken, do they actually tab in? I don't think they actually tab in at this point. They will, but I don't think they tab in at this point. And yeah, they kind of tab in, if I'm not mistaken, they kind of tab in over these tabs here on the side. Yeah, we have a little slot here just above the elbow, and it goes over this tab here on the side. Or it should. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see at this distance to do that, though. Probably not. Yeah, probably not going to be able to see at this distance to do that. Hold on a second, I'm going to get those arms tabbed in. Okay, the arms are in. Tight little tolerance there, but they are in. And again, it's just a rectangular slot on the arm that goes over a rectangular peg on the body. It's just that when it goes on nice and snug, and it's small, a little hard to see. So let's go, I guess, to the lower body next. We're going to begin to bend the legs, and we're going to flip out ahead. And flip out a head, or half a head anyway. We're going to bring these legs together, and we're going to flip them up around. If I'm not mistaken, the head goes together there. Yes, and now the last part should be using these two pegs here. I should be able to take, is it those two? Is it those two or is it the other two? Hold on. No, I think this is right. I think that's supposed to go down there and in? Or does it go in to the foot section and then down in there? Make sure that's that. There we go. Yeah. So you got a couple of nubs that go into, I guess, the like legs, and then they go down into those two little rectangular spots that I said. And boom, in the end, here we have Snarl in his Stegosaurus alt mode. I get that his face is like right down because of the little tiny legs here, but the back legs, the front legs, they all match up. I love this. Yeah, I get that these look like arms more than legs, even though we have the little toesies right here. And that's probably not ideal, but again, for core class, I have to be realistic about what I expect here, you know? Like, that's the only way that this makes any sense to me. So, I like this. I think the transformation is pretty good. He was getting a 9. I think the transformation is pretty spot on for what I would want from a Snarl. I'm going to give it, gosh. I think I'm going to give it an 8. I'm going to say an 8. Let's say 8.5. I'm in a good mood. Let's say 8.5. So the first half of the transformation here, 8.5. The guy was already getting a 9. So we're looking at 8.75. Really, really great. Let's go to the leg mode, which necessitates us taking this off, right? So that whole piece there, that will come off. The arms should be able to come down and come together now and come off, and they fold in. And when they fold in, we should be able to bring them together. Yeesh, honestly, a bit of a nuisance. So let me explain. There are gray tabs on the forearms that go into the red slots, really on the lower tummy pelvis. I discovered just then that I find it easier to put those in the red slots down on the waist, down on the pelvis, and then put the shoulders together. Even though the instructions tell you to put the shoulders together first and then push the two forearms down into the red slot just underneath here. I don't find that that works. I find I have to do it in the reverse, so make of that what you will, I suppose. The combiner peg, we're going to bring that up over right there, so we got that done. And now we just got to deal with the lower body down here, which is split all of this apart and bring it down. Fold in a dino head and fold in another dino head, and you should be able to put these back together again, I believe. Yeah, and now you're going to bring them up so that these two little nubs go into these gray peg holes this time. And they should go in that one, and are you gonna go? Yeah, go in that one. So that it's like this. The only thing left now is the, I guess the combiner, not the combiner, I guess the peg section. And that should go on over, put that up, hold on, let me make sure here. What I'm saying. Yeah, using these two, oh, this is way off, I'm sorry. Using those two pegs right there, they should go into these two peg holes right here. So let's see if I can do that. Maybe it's this way it's supposed to go. Yeah, it is this way it's supposed to go. I was doing it upside down. My bad. I've never transformed this to combine mode before, so I'm doing it right now, first time on camera. So if it looks a little janky, that's why. But here is what is essentially the right leg. I mean, that's a chunky leg, man. I don't know about this Volcanicus. We'll have to wait and see, because I'm not sure about this, my friends. I'll also note right now that down here is how you can add the combined foot of the DNA set. But without it, this is it. This is the foot, this is the leg, this is it. Transformation here is not bad by any stretch of the imagination, other than the arms being a little finicky. I had said that the initial transformation was at 8.75. I still think this is an 8.75 of a transformation. The guy was getting a 9. Actually, I think I said the first one was an 8.5. This is still an 8.5 of a transformation. The guy was getting a 9. 8.5 for both of the transformations. I'm going to say that his final score sits at still an 8.75. It's a great Snarl. If you want it to be a leg, I guess it's a solid leg. And it's a great dino mode. Great robot mode. I said at the beginning of this review, and I'm going to say it again now. The standard that this guy is, even with my fiddly finickiness with the shoulders here, this is what he should have always been. Make of that, my friends, what you will. But yeah, final score, 8.75. And here we are once again, and here he is. I mean, for a little core class offering, the guy has not a lot of hollowness. I get that there is on the inside of the thigh. There isn't, I guess there is on the arm, but I don't feel like it's hollow here. Like, it just feels like his arm. Same with up here, but it's core class. What do you expect? In terms of articulation, I mean, he has everything that I could possibly want at this size class. I mean, somebody might gripe and be like, he doesn't have an ankle tilt. Do you expect it on a core class? Because I don't. I love how well his backpack tabs in on his back and tabs in dino mode. It's a piece of parts forming, I get it, but I think it's the simplest, easiest piece of parts forming I've encountered in a long time, and it really, really, really doesn't bother me. Plus, it has a bunch of this beautiful red paint on it that's slathered all over his body. The guy looks absolutely like Snarl. He has excellent articulation. Even the transformation's neat. Granted, his face is pretty close to the ground, but again, it's a core class. What more could you really want? Yeah, I think of the core class Dinobots, this guy has certainly potential to be the absolute best of the whole set. I know we have 4 to go, and that's a big claim for me to make, but man, Snarl, absolutely fantastic. What do you think about this guy? I appreciate you guys coming by, giving me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can use the donate link. Check us out on Patreon. See what we have to offer to you through spring, or of course hit the join button at any given time and become a channel member. While you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around and have some fun with us here on the channel. Don't forget, not for a moment, not for a second, that you right there, you do make a difference in the world. And I look forward to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres, or the old fashioned way, right here inside the videos.